Alright, so we're going to adjust the clutch on this truck. We got it up in the air. I may not have a lift, so I might have to do it on your back. It's a lot easier with two people. So one person can hold down on the clutch while the other person adjusts it. If you gotta do it by yourself, like I am, they sell a tool you can. It does the same thing, but this just so you put the bar down on the clutch pedal and it locks on there, or a steering wheel lock would do the same thing, or if you can make something of your own if you don't want to buy the tool. The reason we're adjusting it is number one, it's a lot of trouble. I don't know if I can do all this at once. I'll give you an idea. It's 8. And it goes past that. So it's about 4 inches of free travel. Clutch tool on. Stick it down there all the way. I'm gonna pause while I do this. Okay, got it on. Clutches to the floor. Now you're gonna get underneath the truck. It should be the same process. Seen a couple different years and makes, models of trucks, and it's pretty much the same process. So you come up under the truck. There's your engine oil pan. And come back to where the transmission bolts up, bell housing. And sometimes there will be a cover here. There should be a cover here, but on this truck it's missing. And you'll see those 3 bolts. I sprayed it down with a little bit of lube because there's a spring in there to adjust it. And those get seized. I was inspecting it, I was lubing everything. You can also see, you guys can't really see it right now, when the clutch is released, there's a gap between the clutch and the bearing right there. That gap is out of spec, and between the bearing and the clutch brake there is out of spec, so that's why we're adjusting it. If you need to turn it to get to those bolts, there's an access hole on the side where you can use a screwdriver, or you or your buddy can turn the key over until it gets lined up to where you want it. About dead center's a pretty good spot to have it. See what's going on. This one, it's a 16 millimeter, that bigger bolt is 16. If you need to take it off, the 2 on the side are a 14. So you can get a pretty good length ratchet. You put it on there. If you try to turn it, see if it won't do anything, because there's a spring in there. So you gotta push in on it to engage it. And you're gonna turn it. Always make sure that pops back out of there so you can't turn it anymore. And it should be, you turn it lefty loosey to get less travel, and you turn it righty tighty to get more travel. I don't know if there's any variations depending on the truck, but that's how it should be. So I gave it about 1.5 full turns. Take this thing off here. A little trick is push the seat up when you put it on there. And push the seat back. Take it off. I have to remeasure that real quick. Okay, so I remeasured it. It's a lot better. Before it was about 4 inches. It's closer to a little over 2.5, 3 now. You want to have about 1.5 inches of free travel. I can also show you something else that was wrong before I put the clutch tool back on. You can see there those gaps are way too big, so adjusting it will bring those gaps back to where they need to be. I was going the right way. I was turning it left to close up the gap some. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll get back after I finish tightening it down. Gotta go put that tool back on. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Up here so you can see. Ratchet on there, won't turn. So push it in. See how it goes in a little bit. And then turn. You want to make sure that pops out of there. I don't think it popped out of there yet. Nope. Okay. Go back on here. I'm going to take out those 2 smaller 14mm bolts. So they'll pop out of there. Looks like they get stuck. That one. Really don't have to take them all the way out. Take it all the way out just to show you what you're doing looks like. So this is a piece, so when you push in on it, a little spring in there, goes back, and grabs the gear to adjust it. And take it out. You want to make sure that it locks in. There you go. So it popped out. It's a little stuck in there. Sometimes I lubed it already, sprayed it down with some stuff, but I get pretty stuck in there. So you push it in, turns. That turns and adjusts the clutch. Oh, it even says it right there. To turn, press bolt. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's put that back in. So I'll put that back in and go back up and check where we're sitting at on the free travel. These come factory, some Loctite on there. If you want to put some more back on, you can. If not, it will be okay if you tighten those down good enough. Very good and tight. Make sure that thing's good. Okay. Go back up and check free travel. I'd say it's probably close to good by now. Alright, you can see that's how it should be. I'll show you a measurement on it. How well you can see that. This is, you kind of see in the bottom of it. You can see where it starts up here at the top. Like 7.5 or so. Goes down about 6.5. So that's right where you want it to be. That's how you adjust the clutch.